Good morning, Paul Georgi from Allendale. It's April 12th, 2010. The markets this morning are probably going to be affected mostly by the dollar and the weakness in the dollar here this morning. Down 50 in the dollar, up 50 in the crude. Gold is kind of mixed at this point. It was up sharply, and now we've seen a sell-off there. So we've got some turnaround possibilities in the gold market here this morning. But the grains, they're called higher, up 2 to 3 in corn, beans 4 to 5 higher, wheat 2 to 4 higher. The dollar is weaker this morning, mainly because of the euro being stronger. The euro has, or the EU has, tried to work with Greece again over the weekend. They offered them $40 billion loan. Greece hasn't accepted that loan yet, but that communication and that interest in helping them out is what's supporting the euro currency. In turn, the dollar is under pressure because of that, and that's helping the grains. Some of the other factors that we've got to work with here this morning is weather. It looks like we've got a rain showers moving across the northern corn belt here the next few days into Monday, Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday in the eastern corn belt. But it's going to stay mostly north, and the south will be able to get some planting done, and we should see some pretty good planting progress this coming week. The USDA will release its planted progress reports this evening, or this afternoon at 3 o'clock. The question is, will we see our first report on planting progress in corn? It's questionable. Probably not. Usually they come out starting next week. The Chinese also reported over the weekend that they're going to sell 500,000 tons of corn out of their reserve in the northeast region of China. Commitment of Traders was also out on Friday, and that showed that the funds have increased their short positions by 22,000 contracts. And the Argentina released their harvest progress. They're at 28% harvested, and that's up 13% from last week, although still behind a year ago at 39%. The technical action that we've got to deal with here today, support in the corn, 343.5, excuse me, and around the 350 to 352 area, we'll be running into some resistance in the May contract. The soybeans, first support comes in around the 950 area, then at 943, and then all the way down to 911 as our major support, with resistance up around that 963, 970 area in the May soybeans. So we've got a lot of volatility again today, probably in a narrow range, because we really don't have that news story and news item to break us out of this trading range right now. The thing we do have to watch, though, if this market does break down, take out these lows from last week, we could see a lot more stops being activated in the grain market. So something to watch for. On the other hand, the bulls are saying, well, we've got some very solid support there. We'll bounce off of it. As a trader, look to buy against that support area and risk just below it, because if it takes it out, we feel like there could be some sizable downside reactions. In the livestock trade, no bids and ask yet on the cattle. In the cash cattle market anyway, the cutout values on Friday, choice was up 32, select was down 87. The sell-off and volatility that we've seen on Friday, with market closing slightly higher, still looks like the cattle trade wants to work its way up. We're still working off of last week's cash market of $1.175 as the high trade last week. It's expected that cattle feeders are going to ask for at least that much early this week. Product has a weak tone, however, could weigh on the cash market. In the hogs, we expect the cash hogs to be steady here this morning. Some places will be a little higher, some a little lower. We're dealing with that closure of the Marel plant in Sioux City. the Smithfield plant, that hogs have got to be moved around. They kill about 14,000 a day. So that adjustment's going to take a little bit to work through the industry, find a place for these hogs, and keep the plants going and keep those hogs moving. So expect some variations in the cash market here today. Cutout value was up slightly on Friday. Futures were a little lower. Concerns are that we're getting a little toppy in the hogs, but trend still remains higher, so trade it accordingly. If you got any questions, give us a call here at Allendale, 800-262-7538. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have, and we wish everybody a very successful trading day. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Thank you.